To get myself some more yarn. Oops. You have to get it through both loops. Up to our last putting a corner in a corner. Now we're back at the beginning. This is just a group of 2 stitches, just like it was on the second round. So we have to give another stitch beside it right there. 1 treble. And that's now a group of 3. Just like when we were doing the second round, we cut off the tail from the ball and we use that tail to close up this gap, finish the square, and give this stitch in the middle its full height and a proper top. So I'll cut that off. And thread the needle. Oops, no I won't. Not just yet. I won't thread the needle just yet. I'm getting out of step. Cut the tail, hold this treble here and pull this loop straight up out of the treble. And that finishes the crochet. Now we'll thread it onto the needle. To close up this gap, we're going to bring this tail under both top loops of that first full treble we made, just like we did on both the first and the second rounds. And now we're going to take the tail back down where it came from, out of the top of this stitch, and under this strand as well. Now, unlike the first and second rounds, we can make things a little more efficient now. This is a big gap, and we know we want to take the needle out the back, so we may as well just take it out the back to start with and snug that up. And now we have a full height stitch with a proper top on it, no big gaps, and the square completely finished. Just like before, we turn it over. Tie our tails in an end, just like we would with a shoelace, and weave our ends away. Up and down through all the bumps on the back. That's my favourite way to do it. Take it round a corner. And now I'm going to go down through the back of the stitch. and that will let me reach these bottom strands here, and I can work the wool under those at the end. I would do just the same thing with this tail, but I would work in the other direction around here. And it's when you change direction, going around corners and going down through the backs of stitches and long in other directions, that's what helps us be secure, so that even if I pulled on this at this end, this tail is not going to come loose, it's going to stay put. Nevertheless, I always chop the ends off at around about 1 centimetre, just like I have with these ones, and I wait until after I've washed it before I trim those fully off, so that if anything does feel like it wants to move around and poke out, I've got a chance to trim it then and stop myself getting what they call pokies. So that would be the end of all 3 rounds of the granny square. From then on, into every corner sequence you work another corner sequence, and into every 1 chain space you work a group of 3 trebles, and it doesn't matter how many rounds you do. On this round there is 1 group of 3, on the next round there will be 2 on each side, and after that 3 on each side, and so on. So there we are.